channel.
Okay, I'm back.
Hooray!
Just power went out for a moment. No reason.
All right, sorry, Aztec, what'd you ask me?
Cold communicating with the dark powers is something he does internally, right? It's not something we can, like, tell.
What?
He can't.
Wait.
He's asking if he could tell that the cold just made a minor pact with the chaos.
Oh, no.
Yeah, okay.
No, that's way too subtle. All right, it is somebody's turn.
Drax.
Drex.
Drac is going to step in front of the elf and then stand there awaiting the spider to charge at him.
Neat. Do you want to go on defensive so you get a bonus?
I was going to hold an action.
Okay.
Or is that not a thing in this edition?
That's not really a thing anymore.
Alright.
But
I am
tempted
to have him just like when the spider came at him, he was going to have a strength check to make it, like, throw it over the cliff with its own momentum.
What I would suggest would be to take the defensive stance so you get a plus 20 to however you want to resist its attack, and then when your turn comes around you have the advantage bonus, then try and chuck it.
Fair. Alright, so defensive.
Alright. Spider's turn. It will do as spiders do, and it will charge the dwarf voraciously, squealing. Alright, I've got its roll. 38. Which is going to be...
1 second.
So
To reopen everything.
it will get 1 success level.
Oh, shit!
Woo! Alright, so, yeah, you deny that pretty fucking hard. And as the spider comes, slashing down on you, this time, instead of meeting its face with your shield, you meet its face with your axe. And it bites, it manages to slash out and cut into the goblin, or the spider's gnashing maws, doing a minor bit of damage, but more importantly causing it to reel back suddenly, and the goblin rider will need to take a ride check. He doesn't do so hot. And the goblin, suddenly thrown back, will let out a horrible squeal as he tumbles from its back, hits the stone, and just completely falls off the sheer cliff to thud loudly and deadly right behind the halfling. Rist, you're up.
I spin and bash the dead goblin in the head with my cudgel.
Great job. Verve, you're up.
Alright. I'm playing...
Whatever you do not swing that stick. If you do the same damage as last time, you will kill me.
Yeah.
I am not joking with that.
I think he's asking you to cast magic right over his shoulder.
Yes.
There.
Far more consistent with that.
11 damage. Sotek.
Okay. 11 damage. No. 11 would be minus 6. Alright, the spider takes a massive hit from a bolt of energy that surges from the elf's hand, courses around the dwarf, and slams into the reeling spider. And it is very not happy. It's got ichor leaking from cracks in its armor, but it's still alive. Verstat.
Okay, so just the spider is alive?
Yes, the goblin's dead.
Okay, so, yeah, flame spike right into the spider.
Okay.
So, yeah. And you lose all advantage when you fail something, right?
No. Only if you take damage or if you lose an opposed check.
Okay.
If you spend a round without gaining advantage, you do lose 1 at the end of the round.
Oh, there you go. So you will lose advantage progressively if you're not gaining advantage.
Okay.
But that's still a success.
Yep.
But it does 5?
Yep, 5 damage.
Alright, you throw out your hands and a dart of flame soars out, and as it crashes into the spider, it sort of flashes across its body, exposing all of the cracks and bleeding, but doesn't actually pierce or harm the creature in a meaningful way. Drac, you're up.
Drac's just gonna kill it.
It... how many success levels did you get?
4.
Okay, it did not. Okay, so you
In the
bring
head.
your axe swinging around, and let's see, it got
That is
2 success levels.
whatever the difference is, but it's 7 plus the difference to its head.
So you would have had. What's your strength again? 3 or 4?
3. It's 39, and it's bugging the crap out of me.
So okay, so that's 7. Okay, you bring your axe whirling around as the spider descends one last time in a desperate bid to bring you down. But unfortunately for the spider, you are much quicker, and your axe slams into its forehead, and it lets out a bizarre, almost like a whining noise before slowly tipping over and curling up the way spiders like to do.
Drac kicks its body down off the cliff, so it also lands next to the halfling.
Kind of barrels past him, but sure. All right, turn order is no longer required.
Ah! There's goblins falling from the sky.
In a manner.
Do you think we're safe to proceed now?
I look up the slope. Is there anything else skittering away?
No. You don't hear anything, you don't see anything.
I will nod. But now we know there's more up these slopes, so we should be wary. Is there a way, Sotek, that I can, as we're going up, maneuver myself into like a stealthy position, so maybe I get an advantage for it? Should we come across anything else?
You can stealth, yeah. So the elf does crouch and lean against the stone, but unfortunately
I still have electricity, like, running down and around me, making too much noise and light.
Yeah, you also, kind of are a little green, and you've got some pretty vibrant wood colors going for you in a place that's basically all gray and brown stone. But you don't run into any problems. You make it a good way up the peak, and as you get to the top, you do hear noises coming from up ahead. Sounds like goblins. Sounds like a lot of chattering. You're like the occasional scream, laughing, other weird, bizarre sounds. It sounds like there's a fair amount of them.
Question, did that one spider run up this way?
No,
That got
he
away?
ran a totally different direction.
That works. That doesn't work for me. Damn it. Because he could have run into them and just told them about this crazed lightning elf that's coming up the slopes and slaughtering everything. And maybe they would run away.
It's alright, you tend to make a good showing for yourself.
Okay. I will look at Drac to lead the way this time.
Drac will lead the way.
I will take out next to him. Or directly behind him.
Are you gonna do the magic dwarfen singing again? The one that makes the goblins fall over dead. I liked that one.
Should I make more sounds so that perhaps... I will look at the dwarf.
No. Just keep going.
Alright, we go up, so that's our marching order.
Let me look at it. I had to move to a unrelated map. Okay. Cool. I just copy all. Alright. You move further up, and you start coming across trees again, and head into a slightly forested area, and the noises of the goblins get louder and louder and louder, until you finally kind of come around a corner, and you can see them all hanging out on a elevated platform, but they have not noticed you for yet. And they've got a big fire going. Many of them are roasting various spider parts or other small animals that they seem to have captured and tortured. They have all sorts of bizarre... The ground is bloody with various animal furs, and this seems like one of their small little meeting places. And you also see a cave mouth that is drenched in spider web. Like, it's almost been completely sealed up.
Is there something, is there like any sort of logs or something I could knock down or like throw down the cliff at them?
No, they're above you, not down below you.
Oh, they're above us. Okay, never mind. The map kind of makes it look like they're below us.
It's a perspective thing, but no, they are above you.
Okay. I'm tempted to just tell the Bright Wizard to burn the spider web and get an attack them in the back while they're distracted.
That's what I was thinking, but we also... Do we think this is the place for Tall Shrine, or just a goblin cave?
I don't know. Can I take a dwarf check to see if I think this is a naturally occurring cave that humans would use, or if it's some sort of shitty goblin cave?
That would be a useful check if these were potentially night goblins, maybe, but even so, there is no way your check would indicate to you whether or not this is a goblin-infested cave or a tall shrine that also is goblin-infested.
That's fair.
I don't want to fight all these goblins.
So Verstadt will motion to this tree with his hand, and then make like a fire motion with his hands, like jazz hands almost.
Jazz hands.
Almost.
Can I set it on fire?
Sotek, well, everyone else is deciding what they're doing. I want to make a perception check to see if there's any hidden lookout somewhere up in a tree.
Okay,
Because I'm dubious of all these goblins not in a tree.
go for it.
Historically, all the goblins I have seen have been in trees.
Everything looks great.
Perfect, let's charge.
These are clearly ground goblins.
Are there any goblins that look boss-like?
No, not really. They all look very the same.
There's a distinct lack of leadership in this goblin tribe.
I will... Okay, so we can get a surprise round on these guys.
As the four of you are sitting there, some of the goblins begin to attack each other as their argument kind of comes to a height, and some infighting breaks out, which causes many of the other goblins looking around to focus on them, and they all start cheering as these three goblins begin fighting very noisily and angrily. Everyone roll a perception check that is challenging. So plus nothing. Vertstat, you hear more goblins laughing and cheering than you see.
Okay. So I convey that to the group.
You're not sure where it's echoing from, but you hear some laughter that doesn't match up with what your eyes are seeing.
So
Are there any like loose rocks I can pick up and throw?
Sure.
Because I want to pull a Cadmus. The whole throw the rock into the crowd and make the crowd start fighting each other.
That is a good idea.
Except for my ballistic skill is shit, so someone else should probably throw the rock.
Mine is 44.
Mine is 27.
The main thing is when you throw a rock, you throw 3 yards for your every strength bonus you have. So if your strength
Oh.
bonus is 3, you can throw 9 yards.
Okay. I can throw 12, so no.
Strength bonus 4.
Yes, I have 41 strength.
That upsets me because I'm at 39 and I'm gonna be stuck at 39 for a long time.
Alright, but I can do this. All I have to do is stealth.
Well, not necessarily, Foul. There is a way you can get your strength trained up if you really want to.
I do really want to.
We'll talk about it at the end of the session.
Alright, do I get a bonus for stealthing in this big fight?
Yes, you will have a bonus to your stealth. Yes, you may add a plus 40. It's an easy stealth check, so it's plus 40. You are hopefully stealthed. You don't have Rover, do you?
No, I do not.
Okay. And where would you like to go now that you are stealthed? Let's roll some
Down around the south end.
perceptions for the distracted goblin archers. Where did my dice go? Where'd it go?
I get to there and realize I can't throw rocks at the people who aren't already fighting. And slink back. Because they're too far. And I'm not stepping out into the big pathway.
Got it.
Wah,
Oh. Okay. Okay, you're safe. Never mind. Close, though. Oh, wait, no. Actually, no. Where were you, Halfling? Yeah, move back.
I moved.
Alright. As you poke your head out of that bush, you hear a shrieking sound that sounds much more alarmed than any of the others. And you look up at the source of the sound and you see a goblin who somehow, against any common sense or odds, seems to have spied you out somehow. And he's shouting it, pointing at you. Most of the goblins are ignoring him for the moment, but you have been spotted.
By this guy.
Yes. Roll initiative.
I have been rolling fairly well for initiative, and it's spooking me.
I'm sure it'll come to get you at some point.
I mean, last session I rolled the first fight I rolled a 1, so
Well, I got 2 1s and a 3. I beat 2 people!
Verve, you're up.
for once I'm stealing Ben's luck as opposed to the other way around.
Can't reach them,
It-
but could move in.
So for those of you watching,
This is the guy that spot us.
the goblins are
They
actually
haven't-
terrified of what's
Who?
inside this
Oh,
cave.
the guy in the back?
So if they break
This
this
guy,
cave
the
open, the
guy in
goblins
the-
will run.
I don't see your ping.
You got
Scroll
it,
up.
Cliff.
up
Scroll
here.
up.
Oh.
He's way up there.
Alright.
You will add an additional 10 yards to anyone that's drawing sight up to him. BT dubs, because it's a long way.
I can still reach him. But mine is so noisy. Verstappen isn't.
All magic is fairly noisy. You do have to, like, speak clearly and loudly to cast.
My gods.
Well, at least it wasn't a miscast.
Yeah, you were one off a miscast. Don't go.
Yeah.
No,
No, 2 off.
Real quick.
No, 95. man.
13 would have given him
I already
a
had a
plus
95, it didn't
2.
give me that.
90 would be a minus
96 through 100.
Oh,
6.
okay.
The difference of 11. As you try to cast, you do speak loudly, but many of the goblins shouting is easily overpowering your voice. You do see one of the goblins viciously and effectively stab another one with a knife, like multiple times in his chest. And it is a brutal looking affair. And the other one is squealing and... One second. The other goblin joins in, so these two kind of descend on the third and are horribly mangling and ripping him apart, much to the amusement of all of the other goblins. But the one up on the cliff slaps his mate, and... yeah, manages to get his attention and points down at you, and the two take aim at the halfling and fire.
They're at a
Hopefully the
penalty
tree makes
because
him
he's
suck.
small.
Yeah, it is a
And
very
you're covered.
difficult shot. They both miss. One of them sinks into a branch right next to your face, but it does miss you. Verstat, you're up.
All right. Before I move, I will just quickly ask. So, what about my fire plan?
Burn them first.
You could set up the trees or web, whatever. See what happens.
So, is it like a climb to get to the web from where we are?
It is, but I will note that a lot of the vegetation is interconnected via roots and even branches from this tree into the webbing.
Okay. So I'm just gonna get next to this tree, and I'm going to try and cast Magic Flame.
Okay, just so you know, because Magic Flame is not a super intense or large flame, it will take you multiple turns to burn it.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me, guys. 1 second. Chloe, open the door. Hey, big girl. Hey, big girl. Excuse me. Oh, did you get that bug? Did you get that bug? Good girl. Come here. Alright, I'm back. Okay, you do successfully cast the flame, and, you set it against the bark, and it starts to splinter and crack and turn black. Wrist, you're up. Hello?
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Oh, okay.
I duck back, and I'm going to attempt a stealth check.
Cool beans, go for it.
Oh my god.
Do you want to keep that roll?
Can you please reroll?
I mean, I don't see why I should reroll it, but because the elf asked me to. There, I fail, but I don't injure myself terribly.
Alright, you stumble backwards into the branches, causing a fair amount of them to snap and break off. You don't trip and hurt yourself, but you do clear away a notable amount of the cover protecting you and get into a much worse spot, backing up, and it causes enough attention for the remainder of the goblins you see on the hill poke their heads out. Drek.
Drak's gonna...
Chloe Bear.
I have no ranged weapon or way to get at them, so I guess he's just
You can throw a rock.
stay in cover and wait for the goblins to get close.
Okay. Verve, you're up.
Alright. Again, I will shoot the goblin on the hill. Since they've all noticed us now. Doesn't really matter. There. So...
You can hit 3 of them.
So I'll hit... those 3.
All right. You throw out your hands, summoning the winds of magic to your power, and unleash a crackling bolt of lightning that slams into the goblins and chains across them, though the fourth goblin is elated to see that it does not extend to him. And it will deal 9 damage?
9 damage, yep.
Minus 4,
Not super effective
5.
this time, but I hit 3.
Alright, they all let out some pretty hideous squeals as they get electrocuted. Enough that it actually catches the attention of the goblins on the ground. And seeing them spritzing out from laughing, many of the goblins are laughing at it, but some of them do start to kind of get a heads up and start wandering to the bottom of the stair to check out exactly what the hell's going on.
It could have just been a lightning bolt from the sky for all they know.
And a clear day, I doubt it.
Hey, it happens.
Oh, goblin turn. Alright, the archers rain down fire from above. That's definitely... Elf, you get hit. You take... what's their ballistic skill? So, you take 10 damage to your right arm. Man, they really love those right arms. And then you need an endurance check to resist the poison. Miss. 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 The other 3 miss. And then these 3 wander out. And they will see your a party. Alright, so you gain 1 poison condition.
Yeah, I gained 1. So I'm less useful.
Remember, you can't use your resilience to get rid of it.
Well, I think I hope I have earned a resolve point. It's resilience?
Yeah,
Or resolve?
resilience. Resolve
I
is
ain't
the
do
permanent one.
No, resilience, permanent, resolve, temp.
Oh, sorry. A
So-
resolve point is what you spent.
I think I have felt the rush of lightning this session.
Did you spend a resolve last session? You can't go above your maximum.
No, basically what I'm saying is at the end of this session, will I have my motivation?
Oh, no, you have to spend it in order to gain 1 back. You need to do your motivation after. You can't
No.
gain a point and hang on to it.
No, I get that. That's not what I was saying. Anyway, yes, I will use the resolve.
If you perform an incredible feat to pursue the lightning between now and the end of the session, then yes, you'll get it back. But I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and resolve that because I don't want to be minus 10 to everything.
Okay, Vertstat, you're up.
Spending the resolve, you don't gain the fatigue.
That's correct.
Okay, is the tree now on fire by itself, or do I have to...
No, you need 1 more. Roll me an extended speak language magic check
Okay.
to like intensify the flame and get the tree to go up.
I will reroll that.
Okay.
You can just advance it and it will succeed.
Okay, yeah, I can do that too with the fortune point, can I?
This is not a pass-fail. This is an extended check.
Okay. Never mind.
Okay, I'll reroll it.
I have a question for you, Sotek, while he
Nope.
rerolls. With his success level, it says you create a small flame in your hand. Since he got a +2, could he create a flame in both hands?
No, because because that's not the target.
Okay.
You can multiply the target by 2 if that applies.
Alright, I assume area of effect of the small flame can't be extended to make it bigger.
No, that would get out of hand. All right, so you do. The flame flickers out in your hand. The tree is smoldering. It doesn't need much more to go alight, but you will need to cast the spell again.
Okay.
But that's going to count as your action. You still have a move if you want to use it, or you can just stay there.
I'm just gonna stay where I am. I'm
Alright.
gonna try and look like stealth, I guess, but not with an action.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, you could just crouch behind it. Wrist,
Yeah,
you're
just
up.
crouching.
I go to be a buddy with the dwarf.
Drac, you're up.
Drac will take defensive stance.
Verv, you're up.
I'm not even looking at these three. That's down there. I'm looking up the slope.
Those are kind of the dangerous ones.
Yeah.
I'll mention I am in defensive stance, if that was not obvious.
Okay.